So today I'd like to talk a little bit about running a safe house. What is a safe house? Why would you need one? Who would need one? And how would you acquire a safe house? But first, I ask that you click on the lower right hand corner of your screen, click the top secret icon so that you can be subscribed and never miss out on another practical and tactical knowledge video. I'd like to discuss it on the basis of this book right here, The Safe House by Jefferson Mack. Jefferson Mack also wrote Running a Ring of Spies and Invisible Resistance to Tyranny. Those are all available from Paladin Press. When people think of safe houses, they think of a house that you have to own in order to go there to be safe from something else. And that's really not what the term safe house means. First of all, the idea is to be safe from not necessarily harm, but safe in the terms of anonymity. One would think of a safe house being something that spies would use or something that maybe criminals would use, but there's many other uses for a safe house other than for spies and criminals. For example, if you wanted to conduct business other than your place of residence, you would find a place in which to do it that would be your basically safe house. It would be off location. If you obviously were working in the underground economy, but also if you were running not necessarily something illegal, but something that you didn't want others to know about, you would run it out of your safe house. If you wanted to conduct interviews, for example, you would get a safe house to do it if you did not want to do it at your place of business or at your personal home. Other ideas of safe house come from the Underground Railroad, in which people would own the house and they would provide it as a safe house for those who are either resisting a system of government or some other thing that they opposed, or that they would use to shelter those running from unjust prosecution or unjust laws, like the slaves did back in the not so good old days before the Civil War. So obviously safe houses are used for many things, legitimate some, others illegal or illegitimate, but the concept you understand is it's safe away from detection and it gives you anonymity. Now, when people think of safe houses, they often think of an actual house, but that doesn't have to be the case. It could be, a safe house is a general term, and it could be a house or a home. It could be an apartment. It could be a hotel room. That is considered a safe house. And it may only be rented for one night, and as a hotel room would be, and that would be a safe house where you could conduct an interview or a meeting of some kind. Police agencies do this often, and so do spy agencies, but there are many other ways and reasons to do that. For example, a company who may want to be anonymous at first, but is conducting interviews for a certain person, may reach out to those people and meet them at a secure location, like a hotel conference room, for example, or even just a regular hotel room. So the safe house can be a hotel room, it can be an apartment, it can be someone else's apartment. You don't have to own the house or apartment. You just have to be able to align the activity that you want to do with the owners of the property. You can also use warehouses as safe houses, and barns, and any other structure, or no structure at all. Basically, it's just a place where you can rendezvous and meet with those who you have to meet for the sake of conducting some kind of information or operation or sanctuary and harboring of fugitives. So a safe house is a sanctuary, and you don't necessarily have to own the house in order to use the house. If you have an acquaintance or friend or someone who is, if you're fighting for some kind of cause or resistance movement, and they are sympathetic to your cause, they will actually allow you to conduct a meeting or harbor someone in their home and provide basically you with a safe house without actually you having to rent or own the safe house. And likewise, if you rented a house or an apartment, that would also be considered a place where you could conduct these types of things. So there are several ways of acquiring a safe house. One is you can buy it, the other one is you can rent it, but you can also ask favors of other people so that you can gain access based on who you know or who you know that they know, if they can provide you with a safe haven to hide out or to conduct a meeting or what have you. Another way, of course, you can do it, and this gets a little bit more into the illegality and the darker world of espionage, for example, is you can blackmail people, or you can take it by force even. And indeed, by wartime, it can also be taken by force by soldiers who need a shelter to either muster and regroup or gather or collect their wounded and take care of their wounded while they are in the midst of a battle. So we talked a little bit about who might need it. Another group of people that may need to acquire or have access to a safe house are those who are being abused by their spouse. This is often the case if the spouse is being battered by the other, and the children and the spouse have to leave in order to be safe from the other one. So obviously the common understanding is that some men abuse their wives, but it can also be obviously the other way around. And a safe house is sometimes necessary for the safety of those who are being abused. The safe house is used for people who may need to lie low for a while or forever. If you or someone you know is being stalked by a deranged ex-spouse or other psychopath, or if Big Brother, a whacked out neighbor, or a maniacal business opponent is gunning for you, then you may need a safe house.